To get a closer look at Kong, humans built a massive defense system around Skull Island. But as Kong kept growing larger, the environment could no longer contain this giant beast. Dr. Eileen watched the dome's increasing number of breaches and decided it was time to find Kong a new home. The next day arrived. Kong was now lying on a cargo ship. To keep him calm, humans had not only injected him with heavy doses of sedatives, but also restrained his limbs with chains. After a good meal, though, Kong seemed to be in a pretty good mood. Meanwhile, below deck, Jia, who was born deaf, sensed a disturbance. She immediately found Eileen and recognized the signal as coming from Godzilla. According to ancient Iwi mythology, Kong and Godzilla had been locked in an endless battle for the throne. The moment Kong left Skull Island, this isolated place, Godzilla would come hunting for a fight. Kong sensed the danger too. He struggled desperately to break free from his chains. Eileen rushed to the command center and ordered the chains removed. While Lind was still hesitating, Godzilla had already arrived. Facing the fleet's carpet bombing, Godzilla easily dodged with a quick dive. Then he accelerated and burst through the surface. His rock-hard dorsal fins sliced a warship clean in half. Human steel warships were nothing but toys to him. Fighter jets engaged next, but even the most advanced missiles couldn't inflict damage on Godzilla. Instead, they only made him angrier. With a single tail swipe, he smashed the fighter jets to pieces. As his tail came down, 2 more warships were instantly destroyed. Godzilla charged toward Kong, who was still struggling against his restraints. The warship was being dragged out of the water by Godzilla. Both realized their ancient enemy was right in front of them. With an furious roar from Kong, Godzilla surged up from the sea. The impact was so powerful that the massive freighter capsized instantly. The surrounding fleet immediately opened fire on Godzilla. Under the intense bombardment, he had no choice but to retreat temporarily. Kong, meanwhile, was in serious trouble. As a land creature, he wasn't built for water, and his limbs were still bound by chains. He was on the verge of drowning. At this critical moment, Lind gave everything he had and finally unlocked Kong's chains. Once free, Kong immediately joined the fight. He grabbed the charging Godzilla with both hands and delivered a vicious headbutt, then swam rapidly toward the surface. The capsized freighter was even flipped back upright by him. When Kong got back on his feet, with the sedatives wearing off, he regained his full strength. But the freighter beneath him was way too small. After scanning around, he spotted an aircraft carrier nearby. With a powerful double jump, he launched himself onto it. The impact was so massive the entire carrier nearly tipped over. Facing Kong's challenge, Godzilla charged forward. Kong grabbed a fighter jet and hurled it at his opponent. But that kind of attack barely tickled Godzilla. After building up speed, Godzilla burst out of the water in an instant. But before he could steady himself, Kong was already attacking. With humans providing backup fire, Godzilla found himself outmatched for the moment. Kong quickly shoved him back into the ocean. But then the water started glowing blue. Kong didn't understand why, but his instincts screamed danger. A beam of blue light erupted from the sea, blowing the aircraft carrier to pieces. Kong plunged back into the water. Godzilla came charging from behind. Kong knew he was at an even bigger disadvantage underwater. He tried to surface, but Godzilla held on tight and kept dragging him deeper. To distract Godzilla, Eileen had the general launch depth charges. After a violent explosion, everyone stared anxiously at the water's surface. Then a massive hand burst through. Kong had finally broken free from Godzilla's grip. Though he barely escaped with his life, Kong had nothing left to fight Godzilla with. And Godzilla wasn't leaving. This would only end when one of them submitted. Seeing the defiance still burning in Kong's eyes, Lind quickly ordered all ships to shut down their engines and weapons. They needed to fake surrender, to make Godzilla think he'd won. As the waters grew calm, Godzilla's enormous form surfaced. Seeing the fleet motionless, Godzilla didn't attack again. When his silhouette finally disappeared from view, everyone breathed a collective sigh of relief.